Hey everybody! I'm having a good day. It's been a big, long, busy day. Okay, I started out this morning. What did I do this morning? I woke up and then I don't know what I did. But for 5 hours I did something. No, it wasn't 5. Anyway, forget that. I woke up and I had breakfast, and then at 10 I had lessons relating to being a TA next semester, which I'm looking forward to, but oh my god, it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But it's good because it's something I wanted to learn how to do and do correctly, and it's a nice opportunity. It's a useful skill, which I'm not going to tell you about yet, although some of my friends and family already know, because I don't want anyone to steal my position. Because they probably could if they knew what they were doing already and didn't require training. I'm not opening my mouth anymore. It's something I've learned. Okay. So, I've been working on that. I did that for about 2 hours until noon. Well, then I went to Baja and got myself a steak burrito, because that's always good, you know? And then I was able to do work, but I didn't have the time to, because it was 1 when I got back here, and I had a doctor's appointment at like 2:40. It was probably 1:20 when I got here. Anyway, whatever. I went to the doctor, and I've been having some trouble recently. They ran some blood work. She said it may or may not be thyroid related. There was one of those little yellow flags where I'm just barely outside the normal range, and she's not sure if that's a random variation, if it's a mistest, it could be lab work that got contaminated, it could be a lot of things. But something may or may not be wrong, and if it is, it's not very wrong. So she's mostly not worried. She said I seem to have a fairly clean bill of health that they tested for. Doesn't mean I'm not sick with something. And you may hear the water that I'm working on boiling, because the water won't stay still in the freaking pot. I'm cooking crab legs. I bought crab legs Sunday. Then I cooked some of them for dinner yesterday. I was really depressed yesterday when I came in. I made a video then. But I'm not putting it online because I was depressed and it was bad. I really don't remember much about it except that I talked about getting StarCraft 2, which I'll get to. Okay, so then yesterday evening, as I was cooking, I noticed one of my friends had up we're making a video thing, and I was depressed and unhappy, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go hang out with them because I'm not going to be able to get any work done here, so I might as well go and build my social connections. It'll probably make me feel better, it will be therapeutic, and at worst, I can always come back here, be depressed, and mope. So I went out, and I had a pretty good time. Making the video was fun and interesting. A lot of my friends had never made videos, like even just silly little movies, so they were kind of cute. And then we went to dinner at Sakura Express. I got the sushi platter, and Sakura Express is a pretty cool place to go. It's not the absolute best, and I don't like their tea much, but the food is pretty good. I don't want to oversell it, but I don't want to undersell it either. This being a bad problem that engineers reportedly have, because they don't want to overstate what they're capable of, but in business that's basically how you get a job, is you lie through your teeth about what you can get done, and then you just don't get it done. What else have I been doing? Lots of stuff. I got back from the doctor. Then I had class. In the class we mostly went over the exam that we took not too long ago. You may have heard me bitching about it. Or maybe I cut all of those videos and didn't put them online. Basically, I was depressed because I thought I did bad. And I did, but I didn't. Because the class average was an F. And so the fact that I didn't do all that well means that I get to ride the curve all the way up to wherever. The professor said he realized that the exam was very challenging, but he felt like he didn't have a lot of other good ways to measure who really knew what was going on and who was just sort of there. I'm very excited because one of the questions was relating to a technology that I'm interested in, but that I did not yet completely understand. So, although I did only so-so with that question, and I'm really embarrassed to admit that, the professor went over the solutions today, so now I know exactly what I'm doing with that, except not really. Oh, okay. I'm going to study the solution so I would be able to go back and reproduce that work, and then I'm going to work on my design, which builds on the more basic design. Let's see. Yeah, that's about the best I can put it. I'm going to take something that was straightforward and make it more complicated to make it the way that I need it to be to do what I want it to do. But we'll just see how this works out. I mean, the worst that will happen is that it won't work, I won't be able to do it, and I'll be out nothing but the time I spent doing that instead of watching TV. Ooh, what a loss. What else have I been doing? Work. But I've also been having a lot of fun. Oh, on Sunday, this is where relationships get to show off how useful they are. I have a friend. His name is Ralph. You've heard me mention him, probably. I play Go with him, but he's also a graduate student in the math department for linear algebra. I met him through my gaming, and I asked him if he would like to go to dinner on me, because right before a test, I always like to get a big meal. And by big, I mean good, and by good, I mean big. You know, a big meal, so I'm not hungry at all, and I've got really good food, because it's one day of the year that's usually 25% of your final grade, so you want it to be as good as it can get. So I went to Ruby Tuesday with him. I bought his dinner. He said he felt a little bad. He got a rack of ribs with an additional half rack, but that really wasn't that much. I mean, it was, but it wasn't, because he drove me there, and then he tutored me. The ride there in a taxi would be at least $6, probably $10 each way. So that's $20 right there. And then he tutored me for a couple hours, which would be another $40. And then we played Go, which was fun. And so basically, I paid half the bill would have been his. I paid like $20 for a $60+ value. If you look at it in a strictly rational by the dollars sort of way. I also got to hang out with him. So friends are wonderful, friends are useful, friends are great, and Ralph is a wonderful guy. Back to Monday. I had a test in linear algebra on Monday. I didn't quite have the time to get through it. I think I could have possibly done all of it except for one question. There was one question that I did not know how to do. Well, part of one question. There were 4 questions by the numbers, but each of those questions was broke down into subparts. And there was about 4 subparts per question. So, on this test, we had an hour, or about an hour, and I got through 14 of the 16 parts. I believe if he gives me full credit for everything else, that I lost 8 plus 9 is 17 points. I would have lost 17 points, giving me an 83. I didn't quite finish, and if he takes off a few extra points, I'll probably get a 75. He'll probably take off a few extra points. But maybe he'll surprise me. I did put something down for everything. It's just that, except that one where I barely understood the question, I kind of threw something down there, but I don't expect any credit for it. Anyway, then I had a whole bunch of other stuff going on Monday. I was kind of tired, I was a little sleep deprived, and I had a test. I'm always depressed after a test. I didn't put up that video where I was eating ice cream after a test and made me feel a lot better. Oh, I got StarCraft, and I told you I would tell you about it, so I will. I requested StarCraft for my birthday. My mother asked me, "What do you want? I want to get you something." And I said, "I don't really know what I want. Don't really want anything. I'll figure it out." Something like that. And she said, "No, really, I want to get you something for your birthday." And so I told her, okay, fine, I want StarCraft 2, because I didn't think she'd get that either. But she surprised me, sort of, because she showed up and she said, "I know you said you wanted StarCraft 2, but I didn't want to get the wrong thing," which is understandable. So instead she asked me how much it would cost and wrote me a check for the amount that it does cost. And then I was presented with the quandary, do I spend the money the way she intended me to spend it, or do I spend it on the things that I really need, but sort of, kind of, don't yet? I mean, in June I'm going to be saying, oh wow, playing StarCraft is a lot of fun, but I'd like to eat. But then again, after I eat it in June, then in July I'm going to be sitting around saying, wow, now I don't have any food and I don't have StarCraft. This is really crappy. I wish I had StarCraft. So, I got StarCraft, which I've spent a little bit of time playing. I keep being busy and not having time for it. Guild Wars has been having issues recently too. I like Random Arena, but there keep being these weird disconnects. It's called Error 15, which is just lost connection to server, and it happens almost every match. So instead of the fast, rapid machine gun of action that you normally get with Random Arena, instead, I'm sitting around for 2 and 3 minutes talking to random people, and they're usually cool, decent people, especially after you win a match. But it's also really annoying to have to sit around when you really just want to run around and either kill people or be killed as quickly as possible. That's why I go to Random Arena. If I wanted to chat with people, I'd sit around in town. But so Guild Wars was doing that, and StarCraft actually had some kind of update, rolling updates, whatever. They had the servers down, which was weird. I can play offline, but then I can't earn achievements, which was kind of what I've been doing lately. So, yeah. But I think I'm doing alright right now, this very minute. I think my water's boiling. So, I'm going to call it quits.